Mad Skills Motocross Chasing the Dream, the game that could have been but never will be. We did a video talking about it and how the partnership has ended between LCQ Studios and Turborilla, and this game will never actually happen. Now, I got the chance to play it. This is a post commentary, but I did get the chance to play it recently. We did a video on LCQ Studios and the new project that they're working on since this game can't happen. We did a video why. If you're curious, you can go watch that one. But since this game won't happen, they've started a new project, and when I covered it here on the channel, LCQ Studios reached out to me, talked to them a bit, and they offered me the chance to play this game. So, of course, I wanted to. It's actually incredible, especially in first person. I do want to talk about that here because that's what we're showing. This was actually towards the end of my testing it. I was able to play for about an hour and a half for the video, and first person feels great. It reminds me a bit of MX Bikes, because in MX Bikes I really feel like it has a great first person cam, very customizable, and I prefer the game in that camera angle. I just don't love the third person. Now, the third person in this game, in my opinion, is better and it's good, but it is incredible in first person. The physics feel like they're made to be played in first person. The ruts grab you. I can put the bike pretty much wherever I want. The whipping and scrubbing feels good in first person. It just plays incredibly well in first person, and that's why I kind of wanted to start with it. Third person is good too. Slot cam, good too. All the camera angles can be fully customized with field of view, all three of them. And I don't have it all the way pulled out. I know some people like it when the camera's like really far back. I prefer it here, and I know Michael Hodge did a test in the game, this game, to ask if people prefer the camera angle to make it the same in the new game he's working on. And yes, 100%. In my opinion, I know not everybody will feel the way that I do, but in my opinion, and that's what I'm trying to say right now, my opinion, I love it. The camera is just where it should be. Make it have the same field of view slider that you have in this game, and it's perfect. In my opinion, perfect. Just great. So, first person is incredible, and it's the way I prefer to play the game. But we do have a bunch of third person coming up here. And this would have been one of the 3 tracks in the game. So we had the 2 motocross tracks. Maybe you saw them in the early development. Joe from Turborilla was playing on them. And then we have this Supercross-ish style track. And I really wish I would have started in first person and played the Supercross track. I actually feel like this Supercross track is easier and in first person to learn to play the game than it is in third person. Not because the game is that difficult. It is very much an arcade pick up and play game, but it does really feel like the easy to play, hard to master. If you played, now, just for a bit of history, LCQ Studios made Motocross Chasing the Dream on Steam. It has since been pulled, but that was their first game. They've been trying to make a game for many years and finally got that one out the door. It was fun, it was very early and needed a bunch of work, but they got a game out. It has since been pulled. They partnered up with Turborilla to make this game. Turborilla, the company behind Mad Skills Motocross on mobile, and made Mad Skills Motocross Chasing the Dream. So, similar, and the same studio is involved with this one, but the progression, the improvements that have been made from the first version of Motocross Chasing the Dream were incredible. The ground physics were so much better. So much better. The ruts grab you. You can mess up the ruts. You have completely free in-air physics. Now, the in-air physics, while they are better and more stable and more polished and all around good and free, I really do feel like the whips could use some work. And where I really feel like the whips could use work isn't because the free physics aren't good or you can't throw big whips and scrubs. It really feels like it mostly comes down to the animations. I really feel like if there were more animations or the rider moved around on the bike a bit different, it would make you feel like your whips and scrubs were bigger and better and whatnot, because we really can turn the bike I mean, I wasn't that great in the game, but later on, I found out you really can whip the bike pretty good. It just feels like the rider doesn't move enough on the bike to make it feel like you're getting that huge whip, you know? So, whips definitely could use some work, but the ground physics felt good. And this is just reassurance that I really do believe LCQ Studios is going to get their game completely out, completely done, and it's going to be incredible eventually. We know they're working on an untitled one. Michael Hodge from LCQ Studios has shared some of the development, and he's making huge gains. Now, the game is pre-alpha. It says pre-alpha, and you'll never get to play it because it isn't happening anymore. I was just fortunate enough that LCQ Studios offered me the opportunity to try the game out. But when you open up the game, you have a main menu. You have your typical settings for gameplay, control, graphics, and stuff like that. And then you have single player, multiplayer, because they were going to focus on the multiplayer and modding before the game was canceled. And then you have customization, and you do have a little bit of customization in the base game. You can customize your helmet, your jersey, pants, gear, the boots, I believe, and then the bikes. Now, the bikes, I believe, are all 125, similar to what the first Motocross Chasing the Dream game by LCQ Studios had. As far as I can tell, the bike audio is exactly the same or very similar to what the first game had. So it's not great, but they knew it. Hodge knows it. LCQ Studios knows it. It was something they needed to improve on. But for now, just to have sounds in the game, that's what they had. The bikes all appear to be 125s, and then the bikes you can choose from for graphics kits all were either LCQ Studios or Turborilla based kits. And then the gear mostly was LCQ Studios Turborilla gear, but there is a bit of FXR, and that doesn't surprise me because we know FXR works with Turborilla and Mad Skills Motocross. So there was some customization. I would like to show it to you. If you guys want to see another video, let me know in the comments. But there also is another track. The Supercross track was the only one that I wasn't aware of. But honestly, for learning the game, I really feel like put it in first person and go to that Supercross track if you had the chance to play it. You don't, but if you did have the chance. So the game is so much better than I expected it to be. I wasn't expecting it not to be good because I did like the first game LCQ Studios did, but this one has that much more potential. The potential the first one had, this one has even more. Incredible, great tracks. The thing that I think I'm most sad about, I really do believe LCQ Studios and Michael Hodge will make a game as good or better than what we have here, or what you see here. What saddens me is the art style. I really thought it was so cool to have kind of an arcade game that's easy to pick up and play but hard to master, and was really fun, that had that really arcadey Mad Skills Motocross art style to the environment. You know, the tracks, the bump models, and the design of the tracks isn't really that arcadey, but the environment was, and it reminded me of like the art style and the graphics from Firewatch, if you've ever played that game. So that's probably what I'm most disappointed in. I thought it was such a unique take on a full, motocross game, not just a mobile game. But it's what happened. It's really unfortunate. I'm just grateful. Thank you, LCQ Studios, for the opportunity to test the game. No, it isn't going to be released. I mean, maybe in the future they partner back up. We don't know. But as of right now, no, you can't buy the game. I was lucky enough to play it, and I wanted to show it to you guys. I wanted to talk about it. But definitely, third person is fun. Slot cam is fun. But the first person is actually incredible. I was blown away by the first person. I thought the whole game was good and a huge improvement from what they had. But the first person was actually incredible. The physics felt great. Everything felt great. And I would say the biggest thing is that obviously it's pre-alpha, so more animations, different bike sounds, more animations to try to make the whips feel bigger. Maybe a little bit of work on the inner physics, and then that's mostly it. I mean, that would probably be the main criticisms I would have, that I think with more animations, the whips would feel bigger. I mean, you can see the bike is whipping. It just, I mean, in first person, I don't really notice it as much, but in third person, I think if the animations were there, you would notice it more. But again, it's pre-alpha, and if LCQ Studios, because I know it's a team, I know I say Michael Hodge, and Michael Hodge, I appreciate all the work you do, and I'm thankful for what you do in the motocross community, but there is a small team behind it. So all you guys from LCQ Studios, I appreciate what you do, and really hope that you can get this next game out the door, and it'll be great. I really do feel like it'll be good. No pressure. But I mean, I know you have the ability to do it because this game is so much better than the first one. It's the best motocross game that you'll never get to play. For sure. For sure, hands down. Incredible. But you guys are girls absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.